Good morning, I'm Nikki Stimson at GBTA conference in Europe here in Brussels, and this morning I'm delighted to be joined by Jack Ramsey, CEO of Tripstax. Good morning, Jack, lovely to see you.
Morning, well? And you? Yep, very well, thank you.
Great. So Tripstax are new to the industry. Tell us a little bit about your company and what you do.
Yeah, we launched in March this year. We are a travel tech business sort of devoted to travel management company technology. We essentially have a massive database with a bunch of microservices that sit around it. We process booking data and profile data and finance data, which really are the three sort of stalwarts of data within our industry. We enrich them with carbon data and risk data and various other things, and then that gets pushed out to a stack of 8 different modules, proprietary modules that we have. And it's a central single transaction fee. So, rather than having 8 different suppliers who are all charging you a transaction fee, it's a single core, we call it the core, and then 8 modules that all feed from that central data repository. So it's a sort of a shift in the way the industry can think about how data is moved around the technology that's adopted.
Yeah, so a new model for the industry.
Indeed.
Exciting, yes.
Yeah.
So have you started to see, as Tripstax, started to see any traction yet? Are you seeing new business coming in?
We are. We've signed a number of deals in Germany, in the US, two fairly major deals. We haven't announced them yet, but we will do in the weeks to come, I hope. But they're signed, so the contracts are in place. We've signed a few deals in the UK with some sort of well-known TMCs, but also some sort of new, similar kind of movers and shakers in the area. We've signed deals in Spain. We've signed deals in the Netherlands. We've got quite a lot going on. It's almost been a bit overwhelming. We're now ramping up our sales team and our implementations team to ensure we can sort of take in the demand that we're seeing. So it's been great, yeah.
And grow to the next level, exciting times.
Exactly, and we've sort of got an organic growth trajectory, but we've also looking at some acquisitions that again we can probably announce within the next couple of weeks. So, yeah.
So we look forward to hearing all about those.
It's a rapid growth story.
So we talked about the growth. What else is on the horizon for Tripstax, perhaps from a tech perspective, and how the trends affecting your decisions?
I think it's really interesting. Some of the dynamics in some of the new players that have come in from a technology perspective, looking to sort of narrow the offline, online sort of, that's been in our industry for a long time, and new people that come into our industry say it's insane that you have travel agents using completely different technologies to book exactly the same fares and rates, and that we need to narrow that so that
it's far too complex.
It's far too complicated. So I think there will be businesses that invest heavily in trying to simplify that complexity. Right. My fear is that that will add more complexity, because unless you sort of look at the fundamentals of the industry and the kind of legacy that the industry is built on and try and address how you change that technologically and economically, you can put as many sort of plasters on things as you want, but actually it's just built on that same sort of old school fabric. So I think offline and online will narrow. I think agents will welcome that. I think agencies will welcome that, because it makes it easier to bring new people in to the industry, which is a big problem at the moment. Less training needed. You don't need to train someone to use an online booking tool these days, but you need to train an agent at length. So I think that will happen, and I think our part in that is we don't want to focus in that. We don't want to play that game, because other people will play that game. We want to focus on what happens with the data once the booking is made. Irrelevant if it's made by the agent, made by an online tool, a mobile app. Post-booking, when the booking is created, how can we enrich that data, store that data so that it doesn't need to be stored in a GDS, passive segments are something the industry is trying to get rid of. So we can store it centrally, tokenize it, and then send it to our technology, which is purely subscription-based then, or send it out to lots of our technology partners who we work with, who are offering fantastic services in ground transportation and carbon offsetting, various things. I think we need to be careful as an industry not to try and get these sort of innovators in technology, and there are a lot of them, smaller technology businesses coming out of the woodwork who've got very clever sort of practical solutions to problems. We call them pocket innovators, because they're doing something in a small space that's niche and it's really working. All of them are really struggling. because they have to integrate to so many places
They're
and so
working in
many
silos.
players that their businesses break because they've got so many API connections to build, where actually there's a different way to think about it. And that's what we're trying to bring to the industry with the core. So I think next year is going to be really interesting. The fear of the sort of pandemic years is gone. You know, we've had lots of people in this event talk about how we're getting back to sort of 2019 numbers. So I think that fear has now subsided. 2023 then becomes a year of how do we launch into the next era of our industry. So it's really
great. Well, I look forward to hearing more from Tripstax in the future then. Thank you so much, Jack.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Nikki Stimson here at GBTA Europe Conference in Brussels. Thank you.